Welcome everybody to another episode here of the Jason Coleman Show. Today is show number 58. Boy, this really might start to stick. 58 Sundays in, right? Today's episode, we are all about Floyd Cramer and the Nashville Sound. Now, most every Sunday here on the Jason Coleman Show, I love playing in the signature slip note piano style of my granddad, Floyd Cramer, but today we are paying special attention to his impact on this genre of music, sort of right between country and pop music, called the Nashville Sound. He was one of the key players that really made this Nashville Sound what it was. And so I'm going to play for you a lot of the hits by other artists that you can hear Grandad's famous piano licks on all of these songs today. So buckle up and get ready for a trip down memory lane, because I imagine you're going to recognize every one of these songs. If you haven't already, make sure that you click that share button to let other people know about our concert today, to join in with us. Whether you're watching live or after the fact, I'm so glad that you're here in our living room, from our home to yours, for an afternoon of music together. So let's get into it. Floyd Cramer and the Nashville Sound. Here's another Nashville Sound super hit. Welcome once again to the Jason Coleman Show. This is our Sunday show number 58, all about my granddad, Floyd Cramer, and his impact on the Nashville Sound. So the big question is, how did the Nashville Sound actually come about? What is it? So in the mid-1950s, rock and roll really began to take hold and take over the charts. And country music sort of found itself trying to find its identity and find its footing. And it was around this time that Chet Atkins and Owen Bradley, two of the top producers here in Nashville, decided they ought to do something about it. And so they came up with this new kind of sound of country music that really took some of the twang out of country, replacing the steel guitars and the fiddles with like background singers and lush orchestration, string sections, and instruments like the piano, for example, that then began to play a big part in country music and made it a little bit more like pop music, which was controversial. You know, no one wants you to touch their country music, even today. You know, country is country, and everybody has a different feeling about that. But this really helped to keep country right there in the mainstream, and it made the careers of so many artists during this time in the 50s and 60s just take off like a rocket. Stars you've heard me play so far like Don Gibson, Skeeter Davis, Eddy Arnold. I'm hitting several more here in a few minutes. In fact, Don Gibson, "Oh Lonesome Me," is sometimes credited as the first song in 1956 or 57, I believe it was, to really showcase this Nashville sound kind of style that had the background singers and that different kind of feel to it. And it just went on and on from there. And you could hear my granddad, Floyd Cramer, at the very heart of all of these songs playing that piano. And it's pretty cool to go back and listen to all the songs of that era. And he was right there with him. So let's hit another artist here that you will recognize. She is really one of the superstars of the Nashville Sound. I'll play for you two songs by Miss Patsy Cline, starting with one you can hear Granddad's piano licks right out of the gate. It's "Back in Baby's Arms." The Jason Coleman Show is only made possible because of your support. So here are 3 ways you can help us keep the music playing. First, you can check out my CDs and songbooks, including my new Simply Piano albums featuring the best songs from our Sunday shows. They're all available at jasonmusicstore.com. Second, the tip jar is always open at jasoncolemanmusic.com/tip if you'd like to leave a gift. And third, you can join our supporter family. This is a simple way for you to enjoy even more music from my family and me and support what we're doing in an ongoing way. For just $5 a month, supporters get private bonus concerts, behind-the-scenes updates, and a discount on any of my music. It's sort of like a fan club, but to Natalie, Avery, and me, you are more than just fans, you really are family. You can sign up through Facebook by clicking that Become a Supporter button, or new this year, you can join directly from my website with your card or even with a check in the mail at jasoncolemanmusic.com/join. Thanks for all your support, and thank you for watching The Jason Coleman Show. All right, folks, today we have a very special Nashville Sound superstar special guest. Would you please make welcome Mr. Avery Cramer Coleman. Hey, Avery, how are you doing?
Good.
Are you doing good, great, or super awesome?
Great.
Well, that's fair. All right, we're doing great today. So all these songs we've been playing so far today are some of Avery's favorites. He loves all the good old classic songs, especially songs that include his great-granddad, Floyd Cramer. And so he has prepared for us today a song written by his great-granddad, released in 1961, right there in the heart of the Nashville Sound, right between country and pop. What song are we playing together today, Avery and Puppy?
On the rebound.
On the rebound. You want to get Puppy to Mommy and Puppy can listen? All right. Good job. Okay. Avery, you ready? Fingers ready? On the rebound. What notes? A and E. Okay. Ready? Count us in.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, Avery, that was great. How about it, Mommy? How about it, Puppy?
Ooh, that was great.
Was that good, bud? Was that fun? Oh, here, you can come sit down. Puppy, what did Puppy think of the song?
I think that was brilliant.
That was
Brilliant.
Brilliant. That was brilliant. Avery, thank you for playing the song. By the way, we're not done. Mommy always comes up at the end. We got still a lot more music to come, but thought we'd go ahead and
That was so good, Avery.
say howdy to you. That was so great. Boy, what a nice Nashville Sound classic Avery always has in store. Today was no exception. So Avery, we have a lot more songs still Daddy's going to play for us. Up next is one of Avery's favorite artists. Avery, who sings the song I'm Sorry?
Brenda Lee.
Brenda Lee. I'm going to play for you now a Brenda Lee song that Grandad played on that original recording. It's called I'm Sorry. Is that a good idea, Avery?
Yep.
Say, we'll see y'all soon.
You will see.
All right, here we go. Little Miss Brenda Lee, that is a perfect example of the Nashville Sound because it's not really country, it's not really pop, it's somewhere right between, and it was a hit in both places, and it still is one of the most iconic songs, even, 60 years since it was recorded. And you can hear that piano part, I love that little Floyd Cramer part up high there throughout that whole song. You know, the Nashville Sound made the careers of so many great artists and singers that you all know their names, but as I'm listening to these songs and I'm geared in more toward the music, I think about the Nashville A-Team, these players and background singers who really were the sort of the foundation of so many songs. You know, today everybody has their own studio, you know, in their basement, they have their own bands, and so it's very different. You don't really get together like you did back, you know, half a century ago to record. Because back in these days, Music Row in Nashville was where the recording studios were, and you had to go to Music Row to record, and you had this same group of backup musicians that recorded as part of every song. And they rotated some, but for the most part, I'm talking about the Nashville A-Team of Bob Moore on bass, Buddy Harmon on the drums, Harold Bradley, Ray Edenton, Grady Martin on the guitar, Charlie McCoy, our friend Charlie, played harmonica, but everything. He plays pretty much every instrument, and you could hear him on all kinds of stuff. You had the Jordanaires, the Anita Kerr singers, singing the background on all these songs. And you had on piano, Pig Robbins, and my granddad, Floyd Cramer, right there. And if you're listening to any of these songs of that era of the Nashville Sound, you're hearing these amazing backup parts that just sort of set the stage. You know, and a lot of times, you can think about the singers and maybe you forget about the music, but sometimes when you're listening to these songs, listen to just how amazing every little part is, whether it's Floyd Cramer on piano or the guitar licks, it all just really paints a picture and sets a mood and helps these songs just, I think, to just linger in our minds and our memories forever and ever. And it's all part of the Nashville Sound. I'll play a couple of songs now that were made famous by, if you had Patsy Cline as probably one of the superstars of the Nashville Sound, this gentleman was the other, maybe biggest star of that kind of sound. I'm talking about gentleman Jim Reeves. Here's a song from 1957 that was one of the earliest Nashville Sound hits called Four Walls. You know, it's interesting that Jim Reeves and Patsy Cline both were really the biggest stars of the Nashville Sound and both lost their lives in the 60s to plane crashes. And, you know, it really, I think, contributed to the Nashville Sound began to fade from prominence, like all things do, as the 60s went on. But really, its influence carried on even through country music, this style it evolved into called countrypolitan, that was still this kind of refined and polished, sophisticated style. Artists like Charlie Pride, Charlie Rich, Tammy Wynette, Glenn Campbell, you could hear that kind of smooth country through their music as sort of the next generation after these Nashville Sound stars. And of course, you could hear the influence of all of these great piano licks that my granddad contributed to these records as that kind of style really became the style of country piano for even today, decades later. You know, someone says they need some Floyd Cramer in a song, you know what they're talking about. And it was all of these songs during this Nashville Sound era that really set the bar so high for what the piano should sound like in a great country song. I'll play one more for you here by Jim Reeves. And like all these others, has some Floyd Cramer piano, and I believe one of the just greatest songs really in country music ever. So here it is, Welcome to My World. Thank you so much for watching yet another episode here of The Jason Coleman Show. Make sure that you are subscribed to me on YouTube, you're following me on Facebook, and remember you can watch any of our previous episodes here of The Jason Coleman Show, any of our 58 and counting Sunday shows on my website, jasoncolemanmusic.com, or there on Facebook or YouTube as well. Got a lot of great music we've been bringing you now for a year and a half, and a lot more still to come. As always, you can support what we're doing by checking out all of my CDs. A lot of the songs I played for you today in this concert are on several of my albums. The tip jar is always open. And also, you can join our supporter family. This is really the best way that you can make it official. If you've been watching us for a long time here on our Sunday shows, in order to help us keep these shows going for a long time to come, even as life is getting back to normal and we're getting back on the road here very soon for some concerts, we are committed to continuing here on Sundays online for you for a long time to come if you'll commit to us. You can sign up there on Facebook by clicking that Become a Supporter button, or you can sign up through my website with a card or a check. We ask for just a $5 a month gift that you can do on a month-to-month, or you can do it ahead of time and take care of 6 months or a year at a time. And it's just a way of saying that you're in our corner and on our side and believe in what we're doing and are supporting us. And speaking of which, this Tuesday night, so we have a once-a-month bonus concert that's just for our supporter family that we play requests and we come to you live. And normally it's just private, it's just for our supporters, but this Tuesday night, the 21st, we're having a supporter open house. So if you have been interested in a while, or maybe you never heard of this thing at all and you might want to know what it's about, come check it out Tuesday night. We will be live right here from our living room playing requests and having a lot of fun. And you can come see what we do once a month for supporters. And maybe you might even think about signing up to join and help us in an ongoing way that way too. So we'll see you for a new show next Sunday, but before then we'll see you in 2 nights, on Tuesday night for our supporter family open house. Can't wait till then. But before we go, of course, we have one final song, and today it's especially meaningful because there is no better demonstration or example of the Nashville Sound than this song. I close every show with it because it's so special to me and to my family, but it fits just perfectly today because it really is. It's the biggest instrumental song ever recorded in Nashville. It was recorded right at the very height of the Nashville Sound era in 1960, and it was written by my granddad, Floyd Cramer. So I'll leave you now with Last Date. Bye.